Rob, just 3 points behind the 3 players in front of you in the table, and that's without reaching a final so far. You've been really consistent in your quarter-final matches.
Yeah, last couple of weeks hasn't really gone to plan, but look, we got to expect that being with the best players in the world. But no, I feel really good. I feel back to myself this week, and hopefully I can get a big performance out of myself tonight to keep that trend going.
Another opportunity, of course, for you to make some history here and get that 5th nightly win of the campaign. Confident you can do that and extend your lead at the top of the table?
Yeah, the 5th, I think it's got to come at some point. It has to break the record. But tonight, obviously last year I had my problems with obviously the wind and stuff, so up an extra 3 grams tonight, up to 26, and see how they go.
How much are you relishing facing Luke Littler on a Premier League stage again?
That's going to be great. Obviously, no 5-1s up this week and lose.
And if you win your quarter-final match, what's the plan? Will you be hitting the practice board or watching the second leg of Man United against Lyon in there?
I think I can multitask, watch and also practice.
Very best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Premier League Darts, coming to you live on Sky Sports from the great city of Rotterdam. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the thousands joining us live and the millions joining us around the world, it's time to meet the players. Ladies and gentlemen, firstly the winner of 2 European Championships, a 5-time World Series title winner. Ladies and gentlemen, a World Match Play champion, a Premier League finalist, and the former champion of the world. Voltage, Rob titles worldwide. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the reigning and defending Premier League champion and the reigning champion of the world. It's Luke, the new
quarter-final then, before we head to the semis. We have our league leader, Luke Littler, 5 clear at the top. Picked up his 4th nightly win 3 weeks ago now, so still looking for that record 5th. Went out in the semi-finals last week, beat Gerwin Price at this stage, then lost to Luke Humphries. So in a way, the world number 2 looking to get back on track for him anyway. Takes on that man there, Rob Cross, who's in 6th in the table, 3 points off the playoff places at the moment. Voltage with defeat to eventual winner Nathan Aspen on the quarterfinals last week. He has made 6 semi-finals across the first 10 weeks, no finals though, and a tough task up first for him on week 11. Well, Littler won all 4 meetings between them in the Premier League this year. So who wins meeting number 5? Let's find out, shall we? And join Laura Turner and Wayne Mardle.
Thanks, Emma. Hi there. Hi, everyone. Roberto Cross takes on Luke Littler. Luke went into, well, trying to win number 5. That's Dirk van Duijvenbode. Maybe in a couple of years, pal, not this year. Won in week 1, week 5, week 7 and 8. Luke Littler. So the last 2 weeks have been underwhelming for him. He's only won 1 game in those 2 weeks. Rob Cross is the only person not to reach a final so far. And I say so far because he's got quality in abundance and we know it. But the little story coming out of this evening is that Luke Littler is using darts 3 grams heavier than normal. They are 26 instead of 23. What do you make of that, Laura?
I mean, obviously, the one thing he mentioned was the fact that the conditions he found in last year, they didn't quite work for his setup. You know, he's trying something slightly different. Maybe that will be the difference for him. But I do think sometimes, you know, when you start tinkering with the equipment, it doesn't always go to plan.
No, not everyone's a Peter Wright. Well, there's only one Peter Wright. Well, there's probably thousands throughout the country of the world, but there's a dart player, you get my drift. Peter is one of those that literally changes every leg. Luke is not really a massive changer of darts. Points maybe. They're the same barrels, design-wise, grip-wise, just heavier. And it does change things, but we shall see. As records go, head-to-heads, Rob Cross does not have a great time against Luke. They've played 14 times and he's lost 12.
Yeah, this being their 5th meeting in 2025 Premier League, hasn't picked up any of those titles. Oh, sorry, any of those wins.
Yeah, you all know that. Double 6. It's got time. Don't go inside.
Yeah, when you do have that lead, last thing you want to be doing is chasing that double around the board, especially double 3.
Yeah, it's an awful double for anyone, but for Rob as well, because his darts stand up rather than lay down, so there'll be no marker there. Can attack this for the first leg. Attacked. Popped.
Good opening leg there from Rob Cross. And I do wonder, we spoke about the 4 losses that he's already had this year, Rob Cross, against Luke Littler in the Premier League. But the one he mentioned was he's not going to go 5-1 up again and find a way to lose. It's obviously still sticking in his head.
Well, it would do. It just would do. When someone seems to have that little hoodoo over you, you can find a way of losing, but I wouldn't have expected it from Rob in the first place, but let alone again.
Yeah, I can't say I can remember many people having a 5-1 lead over Luke Littler, and especially in a race to 6.
First one in this match for Rob. He's on 12 points, Rob. Michael van Gerwen lost to Bunting, so if he does win this game, he goes a point behind Michael. Gerwyn Price was beaten, so he'll only go a point behind him as well. So if he can win this game, it'll be a massive result for him in terms of getting to the O2. So he's gone for it and doesn't know what's left. Come on now.
167.
It's Littler that's now left 12, but chance here for a break. 1-8 for Rob Cross.
He loves this. Another. Oh. Oh dear.
No drama there. Luke Littler levelling up at 1 apiece.
They really are long points, aren't they? You can tell the way, once they're entering the board, there's a It's a noticeable wobble. Not even sure if they are longer points than normal. We know the barrels are slightly heavier. Well, when they're going in properly, they're not wobbling, are they? They were beautifully thrown.
And sometimes I still kind of have to remind myself that just a couple of years ago, Luke Littler was still playing in the JDC, which is kind of the youth version of the PDC.
Yeah, and he was one of the youngest. Yeah, he's been talked in the same circles or the same groups as Taylor and Van Gerwen. Luke Littler, we shall see how his career pans out, but you're going to assume already a Premier League champ, the Premier League champ and the world champion and the world number 2. There's plenty more to come, you think.
95. Robbie require 149.
For a hold of throw. It's looking for the 57 for a 32.
433.
But sets it up nicely.
Could it all be academic? Bullseye required. Luke Littler misses by some distance for him.
Would have been so typical, wouldn't it?
Robbie requires 16.
Nathan Aspinall, or A170 earlier, the biggest of all fishes. This is a hell of a game. And without underplaying them, it doesn't seem it. I'm not saying that the rhythm or anything is like massively off, but the standard is very, very good. Just doesn't look as good as it is.
No, you do get games like that at times, but you can see there the average is 110. It's just gone under 114 for Cross.
93.
After the first dart, you're thinking, right, that was a marker, use it, and he did.
It just feels very business-like from both of them. Head down, there's no exuberant celebrations after taking a leg or two.
Oh, wonderful. If you do play darts, just try and throw like that a lot. You'll be all right. Oh, if you do play darts, just try and throw like that a lot. You'll be all right. I'm not going to say it again. Oh, that's a great leg of darts. 11 darter. Made it look so simple. Look at it. Leave the arm there.
Yeah, the standard just getting better and better in this match. And I think Rob Cross, perhaps looking back over what he's done so far in the Premier League, and mentioned the only player not to have made it through to a final, but some of the things that he's done, some of the levels that he's played at, been outstanding. We've got that 9 dart back in Brighton in a match that he went on to lose. Just hasn't quite had kind of the luck going his way at times.
He's been fantastic. He's averaging nearly 99 for the tournament. I actually backed him last week. I didn't tell him, because you know what happens when you tell them. Oh, I think Rob is just world class every single day. He's looking for his 5th nightly win, and if he carries on playing like this, it'd be very, very difficult to beat. But Rob is doing one hell of a job so far, averaging 114.
Both players been strong, but for Rob Cross, he's just been that extra bit stronger when he's on throw. If it continues to go that way, then it's Cross that picks up another place in a semi-final.
He doesn't even have to stay there, because he's in control. Double 8. He will be back. This is kind of reminiscent of the first leg when he was just in control of it.
425. Robbie require 8.
For a 5th consecutive holder throw in the match. Double 8 required for Cross. Double 4.
They are playing well, aren't they? There really is an inevitability about the pair of them when they're on a finish. You just think that there's going to be no faffing. 50% from Rob, 3 from 6, and then 2 from 3 for Luke Littler. And what I read from that, Laura, is unusually Rob Cross is outscoring Luke Littler. It doesn't get said very often.
I think it's more of a testament of Rob Cross just stepping up. Said he wanted to try, and he felt better. He obviously had that patch where a couple of weeks ago he wasn't feeling 100%. Looking very good here tonight.
He wants to try and not lose against Luke. Bit perplexed at something. Well, Rob was on 269. Starting on the 20. Most would have started on 19s. Doesn't matter. Well, he threw them differently. He literally seemed to feed them from the left to the right and then manipulate them differently and still hit a max.
But is this the kind of the next level? We're talking fine margins. Is it adjusting because of the situation you're in?
I don't know. I just think he's an absolute phenom and he can do what he likes. Because he's done it time and time again in Pro Tours, even in Premier Leagues, other events where it's like, I'm going to throw a bit different at times. And I'm not saying I'd recommend it, but there's talents that can get away with it. We've already mentioned Peter Wright changing the darts. He could get away with it because he's a special dart player.
And that's another special visit by Luke Littler. 3 maximums. Importantly, it really does put him in good stead now to try and find a way of breaking Rob Cross, because that's proven difficult so far.
Right, I think now the game's changed. I think he's playing now better than Rob Cross. And do you remember when we were saying that Rob was kind of more reliable than Luke, and he was out of a few legs. Now he's got his man right where he wants him, and that is in a breakable position. He's now at 116 180s, Luke Littler. 128 is his own record. That is going to be absolutely walloped.
Yeah, when you compare it to the rest of the field, I mean, Rob Cross, for example, he's at 43 180s. It's just absolute amazing stat.
The next to him is Luke Humphries on 62. It's embarrassing. 777. That's the break. Averaging 113. Rob Cross averaging just below 110. But that finish right there is now 4 out of 5 for Luke Littler, who the last couple of legs has gone absolute bingo.
Yeah, as you say, just completely changed the dynamic in this match. You talk about the average, and highest average we've ever seen here in Rotterdam, all the way back in 2018. Gary Anderson against Gurney, 109.73, and Littler on course to blow that out the water.
97.
Credit to Rob Cross here. He's throwing beautifully.
When you're playing at this level and you still can't quite find a way through, you find yourself being broken. It's hard to maintain that top level, but Rob Cross finding a way.
Yeah, I was going to say, it really is hard, because your level can drop because you're thinking it may not be enough. Rob has just ploughed on, and now if he can get a 2 treble visit here, he may be able to break back. Everything's taken a battering. 54 for Ball. He just hit 2 54s.
92.
For a break back.
Robbie requires 53.
Tops for 4-all. Just drag that low.
I'm surprised he went for the 13.
43.
I'm sure he must have had doubt about going that way. Robin 17.36 always seems a natural. We know he doesn't like tops. Is that a board management error from Roberto Cross? That's really the first mistake that's been punished in this game.
You could say probably was just the first mistake. Haven't seen much wrong from either of them as Rob Cross finds another max.
Really surprised that Rob chose to leave tops. This is a man that got all the way to the semi-finals of a World Match Play without leaving tops once. Didn't want to leave it, doesn't like it. I know people change their MO. That was a few years ago now. Went on to win it, actually.
Yeah, I've got a feeling right now Rob Cross is not liking the tops target.
Hardly done anything wrong. 99 times out of 100, this wins. This standard wins. Both players have not let up for any more than about 6-9 darts, and that was the Rob Cross of about 2.5, 3 legs ago. 11 darter, second one of this match.
Yeah, no issue from Rob Cross for tops on that occasion, but how costly would those misses be?
It's a poor start from LL. If he goes trebleless here, that'd be amazing. He'd only had 2 in the whole match, and to follow Luke. Number 4.
Just the way the first 2 land, it just feels inevitable.
Yeah. And that may be the visit, that 180. Along with another big one here that will see him home in what has been one hell of a match. He's got to think about this. Now he'll go for the 60. Well, he thought it out, just missed.
Yeah, I'll say Luke Littler's ball management is excellent, just not quite the right execution on that occasion.
Six darts. Sounds simple. Still needs to throw 6 good darts.
130.
Rob Cross here just looking to pile on some kind of pressure. Hope there's a mistake from Luke Littler.
That is a lot of pressure. 60 for 20. Was never going to go tops. Tops not in that situation. Moves over. Tops. This could get away from Luke Littler, because Rob Cross, if he can take this out, he'll have the throw in the last leg.
Yeah, double 8 for 5 apiece.
He loves double 4. He does, he loves it. Told you he loves it. What a leg of darts from Rob Cross. The 140 off the 216, then the 76 under pressure. Oh, 5-5.
And that just the third trebleless visit from Rob Cross in the entire match. And what a time.
It's all about timing. Life's about timing. That was Luke Littler's 9th 140. Rob Cross knows a one treble visit is not enough.
140.
Is that enough? We shall see. No, it wasn't, no.
The second one, a bit of a flyer. Couldn't adjust.
Rob will feel like he got away with that. This is in the balance, it really is. Rob Cross has not beaten Luke Littler in this year's Premier League. He's on the cusp.
58.
He really is. 6 starts here for Rob Cross for 210.
Straight and a treble. Whoa. Oh.
You're just describing how everybody has been.
He had to hit a treble, didn't he?
There's no words, just noises.
Robbie require 150.
Now it's getting interesting. Another. His beloved double 18.
180.
Mike was way off.
45.
It's Littler's chance for a 3-figure out.
Tops! That is incredible! That is how you take out 145 under the cosh. He seems to have Rob Cross's number. Rob Cross did everything but win that game. It was an amazing performance, averaged 110, just an illustration of how good Rob Cross was. But that 145 changed the destiny for Luke Littler. Did it change the destiny of the winner for the night? We have Chris Dobie will take on Nathan Aspinall in the first semi-final. And then it will be Stephen Bunting will take on that man, Luke Littler.